Welcome to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, I'll be sharing the latest Bitcoin technical analysis. We were only $250 shy of tapping 45 G's, baby. Also, I'm going to be sharing with you the 5 things to watch out for before, during, and after Bitcoin's upcoming halving, scheduled to take place in April of 2024, only 4 months out. Let's go. Also, Vaneck, a major asset manager, unveils 15 cryptocurrency predictions, including regarding their spot Bitcoin ETF approval, US recession, as well as Bitcoin's historic rally. We're also going to be discussing El Salvador launching their new Freedom Visa for high net worth individuals who can pay $1 million in Bitcoin or USDT. But good news, there is a life hack which Max Keiser shared and how you could take advantage of this for as little as $90 per year to tap into living in El Salvador. I'll be sharing this with you. We're also going to be discussing 3 possible Bitcoin bull run scenarios according to ex-Goldman Sachs executive and the macro guru, Raoul Pal. And I'll give you a hint, it's in multiple 6-figure territory. So let's freaking go. I'm also going to be sharing the latest from Max Keiser predicting the Bitcoin price will hit $375,000 per coin. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more in today's show. If you're new to the channel, be sure to smash that subscribe button to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day. Just like this, it'll help us get to our goal of 100,000 subs. And also be sure to smash the like and hit the bell icon to turn on all notifications to receive these daily crypto news alerts every single day, 7 days a week, including weekends, just like this. And let's get this mofo lit, just like that Christmas tree you see on your screen. Today is pod episode number 1487. I'm your host, JV, and today is December 10th, 2023. Let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day. We got Bitcoin currently correcting, but maintaining above 43.9. And it's interesting because for the past 48 hours, we kind of been stuck in the range of 43.8 to 44,000. And every time we hit 44, we correct back down another $100 or $200. Hence why I'm anticipating a break here soon. We have Ether maintaining above 2,300. I think overall this is good that it's maintaining and not pulling back any further. We got BNB, Cardano, and Doge pumping and in the green, but barely. Very modest gains on the day. Zooming out for the weekly to get a broader perspective. Bitcoin now up over 11% on the week. Ether up 9%. Solana up 16%. Cardano leading the pack up 60% virtually. I should say 51%. And Doge up 18%. And zooming out on the monthly, we got Bitcoin now up 20% on the month, Ether up 11%, Solana 62%, Doge 38%, and Cardano again leading the pack up 62.4%, with BNB and XRP correcting on the monthly. Bless you, Nipsey. Sneezing in the background there. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the current crypto market cap sits just above 1.64 trillion. The other day it was 1.65, so we're still hanging out up there. The all-time high is roughly 3 trillion. Shout out to Will Stop Sun versus Guru for gifting a member a paid membership to the channel. So Jay Bravo, you have been blessed. Thank Will for that one. You guys are amazing, the most generous giving community I have ever witnessed. So salute. And we have the 24-hour volume sitting at 65 billion, with the Bitcoin dominance at 52.4% and the Ether dominance at 17.2%. And checking out crypto bubbles, but actually let's go back to the coin market cap and see the top gainers in the top 100 in the past 24 hours. BitTorrent has been making major moves, up 40% on the day, 180% on the week. What's going on there? Anyone have any insights? Let me know. Terra's up 15%, and FTT, the scam token of the FTX exchange, up 14%. And checking out the crypto bubbles, oh my God, OKT is up 125%. What's going on there? This is the daily. So yeah, some of these alts are ripping right now. We got BitTorrent up 40%, Elron up 11%, Synthetics up 13%, FTT 15%, and HNT up roughly 13%. Which altcoins are you guys most bullish on for this bull run? Please do let me know. Don't be shy, as this is a live and interactive show. Also, please let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm broadcasting live from Puerto Rico, as we do here each and every day. So yeah, massive gains on the weekly. We got this new meme coin that looks like the Dogecoin logo with that dog up 153%. BTT up 178 and OKT up 142. And let's zoom out on the monthly. Good Lord. Many of these alts are up multiple hundreds of percent, including Bonk up 444%, Celestia up over 200%, Luna Classic 176%, HNT 174%, BTT 181, Ordi 157, Beam 189, AVAX 169. Everything is ultimately crushing and killing it right now in the market. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we're currently rated as 74 in greed. Yesterday a 73, same as last week in greed, and last month a 70. So there you freaking have it. Where do you think the Bitcoin price action is likely to take us this holiday month of December? By the time of Christmas, where do you think we'll hit our cycle peak? Do let me know, family. Let's get those likes up. We greatly appreciate it. As we kick into our Bitcoin technical analysis, we're going to check out the charts where the Bitcoin price action is likely to take us next. Let's go. The S&P index, the SPX, achieved its highest close of the year last week. Bitcoin also hit a new 52-week high, which is now sitting at just shy of 55,000, indicating that risky assets remain strong going into the final few days of the year. Let's go. Some analysts believe Bitcoin is done with its rally in the short term and may roll over. However, popular analyst Matthew Hyland cautioned in a post that a drop in the Bitcoin dominance below 51.8% could signal that the uptrend has ended, along with likely a top to be put in. Usually the first leg of the rally of the new bull market is driven by the leaders, but after a significant move, profit bookings set in and traders start to look for alternative opportunities like we're witnessing right now with the altcoins. Could Bitcoin continue its move up and hit 48,000 in the next few days? Well, let's discuss some of the top things to pay attention to this week. First and foremost, a little Bitcoin TA. You're looking at the Bitcoin daily chart. Bitcoin's been consolidating in a tight range near the minor resistance, currently at 44.7, which is roughly the all-time high for the past 52 weeks, indicating the bulls are not rushing to exit as they anticipate another leg higher. I think if we break 44.5, we're likely to hit 46 next, so that's the target I got my eyes on, fam. Now, the upsloping moving averages as well as the RSI in the overbought zone indicates that the bulls remain in command. If the price turns up from the current levels and rises above 44.7, it will signal the resumption of this uptrend, with the Bitcoin price target hitting 48,000, which I can't wait. I think that is likely here soon this week. Let me know your thoughts. Conversely, if the price plunges below 42.8, then we may slump to the 20-day exponential moving average, which is sitting just above 40,600. This is a crucial level to keep an eye on because a bounce off of it will suggest the uptrend remains intact, but a tumble below it will indicate the start of a deeper correction towards the 50-day simple moving average, all the way down to 37,152, which you can see here in the Bitcoin 4-hour chart, which shows that the bulls are trying to sustain the price above the 20-day exponential moving average. If they can pull it off, Bitcoin may rally above 44.7, and the move up can then surge to 48, which is likely to act as a formidable resistance. However, if the price slides below the 20 EMA, it suggests profit booking by the short-term traders. Bitcoin can fall to the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement level, sitting just shy of 42,000, and later to the 50% retracement level of 41,100. Now, we're going to skip some of the altcoin analysis, but you can see Uniswap right here. They also break down some of the others, Optimism, etc., etc. I actually wanted to read you this tweet from Plan B, creator of the Bitcoin stock-to-flow model. He wrote, Bitcoin has better risk-adjusted returns than all other assets. 10% Bitcoin, 90% cash allocation has bond-like risk, and talking about FAANG-like returns. Bitcoin is an absolute game changer. Note, the chart is a 2023 update from the 2021 chart, including the 2022 crash and NVDIA. Bitcoin starts January of 2012 at $5. Now, this chart shows you Bitcoin has a better risk-adjusted return than all the other major assets. And if we click on this here, you can see comparing Bitcoin to classic investment access, such as Treasury bonds, gold, and the S&P, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google, Tesla, clearly outperforming all of them. And it will continue as Bitcoin is the apex predator, you know what I mean? And shout out to Plan B. The stock-to-flow model is ultimately telling us we're likely to see the Bitcoin price action hovering between $100,000 and $1 million per coin post 2024 halving, keeping in mind the halving of April in 2024 is only 4 months out. I know that's a wide price range, but that's where we're likely to go. Stock to flow has been the most historically accurate price prediction model until the last cycle because we saw some black swans throw it off, but I still think a lot of the targets are on tact. I think they were just wrong on the particular year. I do think we see $100,000 plus Bitcoin price in 2024, but let me know your thoughts personally, crypto fam. But anyways, fam, let's kick off our next story of the day as we have a lot to cover. Let's dive into the Bitcoin halving 2024 and discuss everything related that you need to know. 5 things to watch out for regarding the halving. First and foremost, the first phases, pumps and dumps, whether it's the hype around the upcoming halving or the potential approval of the first spot Bitcoin ETF, or maybe both. The fact is that the Bitcoin price has been on a run for the past few months. Just earlier in the weekend, we tapped a new high of just shy of 45,000. I believe that was 44,750. Quite an impressive number given the fact that the asset started the year around 17,000. So we're up virtually 300x on the year. Not too shabby, I'll take that. And this is a bear year, fam. Let that sink in. Popular analyst Rat Capital indicated there might be retracements in Bitcoin's near future, but they could result in a fantastic return on investment should investors capitalize on them. By relying on historical data, he suggests Bitcoin sees another rally approximately 60 days before the halving, which would mean February, right? Now, this is typically followed by a pre-halving retrace, which takes place around the event. In 2016, Bitcoin dropped by just under 40% and by 20% 4 years later. As Rec points out here, the 5 phases of the Bitcoin halving. Number 1, pre-halving period. And I'm going to actually read this all out to you. Let me open it on X. Approximately 4.5 months remain until the Bitcoin halving in April of 2024, which we all know. Historically, any deeper retraces that occur during this period tend to generate fantastic return on investment for investors in several months after the halving. 2, we have the pre-halving rally, then 60 days before the halving. The pre-halving rally tends to occur, which we can see in the chart in the light blue. In anticipation of the halving, investors buy the hype in an effort to sell the news. Then 3, we have the pre-halving retrace. The pre-halving retrace tends to occur around the halving event itself, which is in the chart in the dark blue circle. In 2016, the pre-halving retrace was 38% deep, and in 2020, it was 20% deep. This pre-halving retrace makes investors question whether the halving was a bullish catalyst on the price. After all, number 4, then we get the reaccumulation. The pre-halving retrace is followed by multi-month reaccumulation, which is in the red. Many investors get shaken out in this stage due to the boredom, impatience, and disappointment with the lack of the major results of their Bitcoin investment in the immediate aftermath of the halving. Then we have what you need to pay attention to, the parabolic uptrend. This is why we hodl gang. Once Bitcoin breaks out from the reaccumulation area breakout and the parabolic uptrend, which we can see here in the green, it is during this phase Bitcoin experiences accelerated growth on its way to new all-time highs. So send it and let's freaking go. I can't wait. It's about to get lit. And of course, going back here to reaccumulation and the parabolic trend, once the dust settles as the halving is history and the reaccumulation phase is complete, comes the sweetest part, which is the parabolic price increases. And of course, history is no indication of future price movements, so we must keep that in mind. History tends to rhyme, if not repeat. So if we were to rhyme and or repeat, I would be anticipating personally a big run up, and I wouldn't expect the peak of the cycle until the following year after the halving, because we got to do the math. This is going to be my 3rd halving appreciation because I got started in 2017. Granted, I missed the previous 2016 year halving. I witnessed the parabolic run up the year following in 2017 because when I got my first Bitcoin, it was roughly $1,500. Then by the end of the year, we had a run up to almost 20,000. Pretty impressive returns, especially my first year in crypto. Yes, hence why we relocated to Puerto Rico the following year, because I'm like, oh my God, this is life-changing. Can't wait for the next cycle, right? Then 2020 came around, the year of the halving, and then it was the following year, which we broke out and hit all-time highs. November 10th, we hit 69,000, which is the current high. And then I think we're gonna get a repeat of 2024, Bitcoin halving occurs. I think we've returned to all-time highs. Shout out to Aaron and Nabs. I appreciate you subscribing to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. But I don't think it's till the year preceding the halving we hit the cycle peak. Regardless if it's a super cycle, we shall soon see. But I do feel very optimistic that 2024 and 2025 are going to be 2 years you're never going to forget. Let me know your thoughts, fam. And where do you feel the cycle peak will take us? But let's dive into our next story of the day. We still got a lot to cover, family. I appreciate all the interaction. Let's discuss the latest from Vaneck. They made some bold predictions. In fact, 15 predictions regarding ETFs and so much other. Vaneck is one of the major asset managers, so let's discuss this. Asset management firm Vaneck published its 15 crypto predictions for next year on Thursday. The first prediction concerns the U.S. economy slipping into a recession and the U.S. SEC approving the spot Bitcoin ETF. Here's what Vaneck had to share. On X, the U.S. recession will finally arrive, but so will the first spot Bitcoin ETFs. Over $2.4 billion may flow into the ETFs in the first quarter of 2024 to support the Bitcoin price. Vaneck is among the companies that have filed their application to launch the spot Bitcoin ETF with the SEC. Other applicants which we know are BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, Fidelity Investments, ARK Invest, as well as Bitwise, and many others. There's a total of 13 right now. The second prediction centers on the impending Bitcoin halving 4 months out in April of 2024, anticipating minimal market disruption and post-halving rise of the Bitcoin price action with significant gains for some low-cost miners. And the third prediction, which sees a dramatic surge in the Bitcoin price. Quoting them here, Bitcoin will make an all-time high Q4 of 2024, potentially spurred by political events and regulatory shifts following the U.S. presidential election. So there's another catalyst, major U.S. presidential election. Do you think any pro-Bitcoin candidates have the potential to win, including RFK Jr., DeSantis, or Vivek? Please do let me know. The next couple of predictions are about Ethereum. Vaneck predicts that Ether will outperform the major tech stocks in 2024, although it won't flip BTC. However, Ethereum's market dominance will face challenges from other smart contract platforms. Moreover, the implementation of EIP 4844, which is proto-dank sharding, which will reduce the transaction fees and improve scalability for layer 2, such as Polygon, Arbitrum, Optimism, amongst others. The sixth prediction states that NFT activity will rebound to an all-time high, with Ethereum leading and Bitcoin gaining traction via the Ordinals protocol, shifting the ETH to Bitcoin NFT issuance ratio to 3-to-1 by the end of the year. There's an interesting prediction. Do you think NFTs will be resurrected? Let me know. And expecting more exchanges, Binance to lose its #1 position for spot trading, and competitors such as OKX, which is up over 100% on the day, fam, Bybit, Coinbase, and BitGet contending for leadership. Vaneck shared its 7th prediction. Coinbase's futures market may exceed $1 billion in daily volume as regulated index inclusion becomes the key. The 8th prediction explains that the market cap of the stables should surpass the previous peak and reach a new high above $200 billion. This growth will be accompanied by the resurgence in the USDC market share, signifying a transition towards increased institutional adoption, particularly with emerging layer 2 chains. The 9th prediction details that the DEXs will hit all-time highs in spot trading market share, driven by fast blockchains like Solana and wallets enabling automated transactions, promoting on-chain trading and self-custody. The 10th prediction, remittances will boost blockchain use, with Bitcoin staking on the Lightning Network offering yield opportunities through new user-friendly staking tools. They also anticipate the emergence of a smash hit blockchain game exceeding 1 million daily players, propelling Immutable X's market cap upwards, with key releases and the Immutable Passport streamlining wallet usage and enabling wider adoption. Quite a lot of predictions coming from Vaneck. Here's the 12th one, highlighting Solana is projected to become the top 3 blockchain by market cap. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that. And users potentially surpassing the Chainlink total value secured with its Pyth Oracle as DeFi TVL surges and ETF interest grows. Now, furthermore, the asset manager firm predicts a surge in adoption for decentralized infrastructure networks, which is the 13th prediction. New accounting standards will boost corporate crypto holdings. Coinbase will report layer 2 revenue as the base protocol grows, and by 2025, a major financial entity may launch a quasi-public blockchain with public chain connectivity, the 14th prediction outlines. And the final prediction by Vaneck relates to know your customer compliance. The asset manager shared the following: KYC compliant DeFi apps led by Uniswap will likely surpass non-KYC ones, attracting institutional volume and enhancing the protocol fees, which may boost the Uniswap token value. So there you have it. What are your thoughts surrounding these big 15 predictions coming from asset manager Vaneck? But anyways, fam, let's get to our next story of the day. Still got a few more things to share with you. Next, let's discuss this visa. We call it the Freedom Visa for El Salvador. They just announced this more recently. I want to give you all the insights as well as a hack on how to take advantage of this without having to pay the $1 million. So listen to JV, listen up if you're looking to relocate to El Salvador. Check this out. This was breaking news. El Salvador launches the new Freedom Visa for high net worth individuals who can pay $1 million in Bitcoin or USD. Now, El Salvador launched this Freedom Visa program. As we know, the Central American country officially launched the Citizenship by Investment program on Thursday, noting that 1,000 individuals, which is their goal, would be selected for the visa, which offers an accelerated path towards El Salvadoran citizenship. Applicants can begin the process by paying $999 worth of Bitcoin or USDT as the app fee, which is non-refundable but counts towards their overall contribution if they are picked for the visa. Candidates who are selected will have to give the Salvadoran government a total of $1 million in Bitcoin or USDT. So this is a way for them to raise $1 billion. The program's website refers to this money as an investment, which will be used to build an entirely new economy and better future in Bitcoin country, El Salvador. The $1 million fee is 10 times the size of several similar citizenship by investment programs in the region, including ones offered by the Caribbean countries of Antigua, Barbuda, Dominica, or St. Lucia. However, don't forget there's also Puerto Rico. There's a reason I'm here, fam, and if you're interested in that, let me know. Salvadoran President Bukele has long been a vocal advocate for Bitcoin. They own more than 130 million worth of Bitcoin, and they also made Bitcoin legal tender. They're the first ones to do so. Bukele says the country has no intention of selling its Bitcoin despite the Bitcoin price rises this year. We are fully aware that the price will continue to fluctuate in the future. This doesn't affect our long-term strategy. And I actually want to read you this post by Nayib Bukele regarding their investment, but I first want to share some tweets. Get a Freedom Visa. Experience economic liberty and a Bitcoin lifestyle. Participate in the cultural and national rebirth and enjoy the abundance of El Salvador's nature, volcanoes, surf, exotic wildlife, and stunning vistas. A beautiful place. Just look at that. Looks like heaven on earth, if you're to ask me. And check out these other tweets. Thank you for your interest in the Freedom Visa. This is a citizenship by donation for $1 million for you and your fam. There is no residency requirement. That's pretty cool. And the nationalization process is within 3 months. Donations can be paid in Bitcoin. Now for some life hacks. First and foremost, Max says he has 153 people who signed up already. That's $153 million worth of donations for Bukele and El Salvador. Pretty epic. He also shares, such is the enthusiasm for the President Bukele. I just got asked from a guy applying for the Freedom Visa for $1 million if it was okay to add an extra $4 million on top to make it a total of $5 million just because he thinks Bukele is humanity's last hope. It just goes to show you the sentiment of the people and how much they want to support Bukele on this mission. Now, here's the life hack. Listen up if you don't have $1 million. Here's a life hack, quoting Max. Move here to El Salvador. Get the 1-year visa for $90. Live here for 5 years. Get the citizenship and live in an incredible country that's benefiting from, you already know. So there you have it. If you don't have $1 million to invest and become a citizenship, Max just shared a life hack where you can do the same thing for $90. Sounds like a no-brainer if you're to ask me. So if you're contemplating relocating to El Salvador, reach out to Max Keiser and he'll show you the ropes. He's been helping people. He's like the ambassador. He's trying to bring more people to the land of the free, the Ark with Bukele, which is El Salvador. Now for Bukele's tweet he shared, I believe, about a week ago. El Salvador's Bitcoin investments are in the black. Amen. After literally thousands of articles and hit pieces that ridiculed our supposed losses, all of which were calculated based on Bitcoin's market price at the time, referring to the IMF and all the other mainstream fudsters. Now, with the current Bitcoin market price, if we sell our Bitcoin, we would not only recover 100% of our investment, but also make a profit of, I think that is 3.6 million at the moment he wrote this. Of course, we have no intention of selling. That has never been our objective. We're fully aware that the price will continue to fluctuate in the future. This doesn't affect our long-term strategy, but nonetheless, it is important that the naysayers and the authors of those hit pieces take back their statements. The responsible thing to do would be for them to issue retractions, offer apologies, or at the very least, acknowledge that El Salvador is now yielding a profit, just as they reportedly reported that we were during incurring losses. If they consider themselves true journalists, they should report this new reality with the same intensity they reported the previous one. We will see. Stay tuned. And there you have it, showing you their investment in the black. So it paid off. So congratulations to El Salvador and all their beautiful people. I think they're going to have a hell of a run in the next 2 years and be in massive profit, to say the least. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Let me know your thoughts surrounding the Freedom Visa, relocating to El Salvador. But anyways, let's dive into our next story of the day. We discussed the latest with El Salvador. Our next two stories, we're going to be discussing a $200,000 target by the macro guru. He's going to share with us 3 bullish scenarios which can play out. I just shared with you my bullish scenarios, and happy Kwanzaa to everyone out there as well. And 375,000 Max says is the implied hash adjusted price of the King crypto. So we're also going to be sharing the latest from Max Keiser. But first, here's the latest from the macro guru, Raoul Pal. Macro guru, Real Vision CEO Raoul Pal is laying out 3 possible scenarios for Bitcoin's next run. Here we go. In an interview he just shared, the ex-Goldman Sachs executive. Now, interesting, we also had the chairman of the SEC is also ex-Goldman Sachs, Mr. Gensler. He says that the most likely scenario for Bitcoin is a traditional cycle where Bitcoin rallies somewhere between $100,000 and $200,000 per coin. Quoting him here, "I am obviously very bullish. I have got 3 outcomes in my head that I am juggling with. The 60% probability is we have kind of a very traditional cycle that pushes Bitcoin up to the $100,000 to $200,000 range, and all the other assets accordingly where they are on the risk curve." Powell goes on to say the second scenario, which he believes has a 20% chance of unfolding, would see massive influx of money into the digital asset industry, triggering a bigger than expected bull run. As he shares here, there's a 20% chance this early start is signifying something much bigger, which is larger adoption and more capital into the space, which leads to larger prices than people expect. People are quite scared because the last cycle seemed shorter than most people expected. Everyone thought there was another final leg higher. That never really happened. But maybe this time the shock is for excess returns beyond expectations. Now, logically, if he's saying it can blow past 200,000 and he gives this a 20% probability, I think he's hinting at a super cycle where we can obviously clear 200 easy, maybe go up as high as 300-400. In the third scenario, Powell says the asset class could see a front-loaded cycle that is even shorter than the last, as he shares here. The other side that I grapple with is, well, that's the whole cycle's front-loaded, and in fact, it is shorter, but more violent in 2024. So those are the 3 scenarios I am juggling around in my head. Let me know if you agree or disagree with these bullish predictions from the macro guru, and do you think we're most likely to land somewhere between 100 and 200,000 as the top in 2024? Or do you think the 20% scenario or the third scenario may play out and we could rise above everyone's expectations? Let me know your honest thoughts. Anyways, fam, let's now kick it off with our featured story of the day and discuss Max Keiser's prediction of the Bitcoin price hitting 375,000, which is the implied hash rate adjusted price, according to the high priest himself. So let's break down the latest from Max Keiser. As you can see the headline, Bitcoin maxing advisor to El Salvador's president, Bukele, Max Keiser predicts that the Bitcoin price will hit $375,000 per coin. And we know he is up 20 million% profit on his stash. He accumulated a Bitcoin since 2011. So here's the deal. He noted that the price of Bitcoin has been trailing behind the increase in the hash rate, which continues to break new all-time highs. The hash rate is ultimately the difficulty adjustment. And concurrently, he suggested that the targeting and takedown of competitor Binance CEO CZ were orchestrated, let me know if you agree with that, by the major Wall Street players, aka BlackRock. Keiser believes that the current surge in price is aligning with the implied hash adjusted price of $375,000 per coin. The anticipation expressed by the Bitcoin enthusiast, Max Keiser, aligns with the sentiment of Galaxy Digital CEO, who envisions Bitcoin reaching the previous highs of 69,000 upon the ETF approval. That's Mike Novogratz. He further anticipates a substantial influx of billions of dollars into the ETF industry within the initial year of Bitcoin's ETF trading. Novogratz also recently came out and shared he believes that the Bitcoin price will hit $500,000 per coin. This is pretty bullish. Now, Max has also hinted at a God candle, which I've been covering for the past week on the channel. So I didn't want to make that the core focus of today's show, but he has been saying we can see a $100,000 surge in the Bitcoin price in a single uptick. We renamed that the Keiser candle because typically the God candle is only 10,000, just FYI. Keiser suggests that the unfolding of this God candle scenario will be nothing short of shocking for the global audience. Now, in crypto, the God candle is typically characterized by a $10,000 increase, hence why we've been now calling it the Keiser candle. Here's the initial tweet. A 100,000 God candle is in play, a 100,000 uptick of the Bitcoin price. This will literally shock the world, and the Bitcoin singularity will be upon us. And he's ultimately saying that the nation of Qatar is sitting on a $500 billion, which is $500 billion, and they're looking to convert that into Bitcoin, which would clearly be massive. And reading this tweet out loud here, the Bitcoin price was lagging behind the rise in the hash rate while the competitor CZ and Binance was being targeted and then taken down at the behest of the large Wall Street players. The price rise now is catching up to the implied hash adjusted price of $375,000 per coin. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that sentiment from the high priest. Now, additionally, Keiser also flexed the massive profits that he has been witnessing currently on his Bitcoin stash. Keiser emphasized he has been maintaining a Bitcoin holding since 2011, recognizing the immense latent potential of Bitcoin to revolutionize the world. He initiated his Bitcoin purchase 3 years after the creation of the first Bitcoin block and 1 year following the public disappearance of Bitcoin's creator. Can Max be Satoshi? What are your thoughts? Now, Keiser tweeted that Bitcoin holdings have seen a remarkable increase of 20 million % since 2011. Christ's sake. Wow. I am up 20 million % since 2011 with my Bitcoin, as he shared on December 4th, about a week ago. This was because someone was flexing saying, why do some Bitcoiners act like spoiled brats about gold? And with Mad Max being the worst offended, I'm up 50% of my junior gold mining stock. So Max is like, come on, guy. 50%, I'm up 20 million %, big dog. Let that one sink in. And although he has not officially disclosed the specific amount of Bitcoin he possesses, I'd love to know, how much Bitcoin do you think he's holding? According to Alex Jones, when he was on his show recently, Alex is like, Max, I know you're sitting on over 1 million Bitcoin. That would mean he owns as much Bitcoin as Satoshi himself, as Satoshi's wallets are estimated to be at 1.1 million Bitcoin. So do you think that Max can potentially be Satoshi or holding as much Bitcoin or potentially more as Satoshi? Let me know your thoughts. And FYI, Max announced just the other day on X he's going to be returning to the Alex Jones show. I'm looking forward to that episode. I'll be keeping you in the loop. Now, nevertheless, it is evident that, like many early Bitcoin adopters, Keiser has amassed a significant Bitcoin portfolio and emerged as an outspoken Bitcoin maxi. Over the years, we call him the most toxic Bitcoin maxi ever. Shout out to Robbie P. Epic track, by the way. Bitcoin experienced a remarkable surge of over 60% just since mid-October. That was when Mr. Jim Cramer said, Mr. Bitcoin's going down. Yeah, take that inverse, Cramer. Fueled by speculation about the SEC's potential approval of the ETF apps from major players like BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager. And as of Wednesday, we just hit, actually just the other day, I would say it was yesterday or the day before, we just hit 44,750. So we're on the cusp of reclaiming 45,000. In November, the combined trading volume for both the spot and derivatives on centralized exchanges witnessed substantial 40.7% increase, reaching 3.61 trillion. This figure represents the highest total combined volume since March, according to data from the researchers CC Data. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Right now, there's roughly $25 trillion in assets under management, just collectively from the 13 asset managers that currently have their application for the spot ETF to be approved by the SEC. How much of that 25 trillion is likely to be ushered into the king crypto, whence Bitcoin is recognized as an asset class, which will be officially when the ETF gets the approval. Now run the math, and here's some food for thought. BlackRock last year in 2022, they published a study, and in the study they said the recommended portfolio allocation from BlackRock is 84.9% into Bitcoin, roughly 85%. So they're recommending that people allocate 85% of their portfolio into BTC. What's your thoughts on that? And what if they actually did what they said they recommended? What would that take us? Holy moly. And imagine, because they're the largest asset manager, so whatever they do, everyone in the world is watching, and the other asset managers are likely to do the same. They're the one that started this domino effect. Bitcoin game theory in full effect right now. What if, instead of 1% into Bitcoin, these asset managers like, yo, let's start with 10%. Let's get to 85. We know BlackRock's going to trend towards 85. Clearly, there's not enough Bitcoin in the exchanges. Clearly, there's going to be a supply shock, but this is beautiful. This is game theory. We also have nation states. Max, I've been sharing all throughout the week. He says countries such as Russia, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Iran are all looking to do business in Bitcoin. And he said Qatar can usher in the 100,000 Keiser candle, taking us to 150,000 in a single uptick. Could you imagine that? What are your thoughts, fam?